So welcome to Just Journos episode number 3. Oh, it's gone by so quick, Toby. Toby's a special guest today. Obviously, as most of the listeners and viewers know, we do Sportsdesk, so the flagship radio show on SYN. And how you been, mate?
Yeah, good, mate. We were just sort of talking off air about our weekends and stuff, and how quickly it's gone by. It's obviously good to jump on. I know you've been nagging me or trying to get me on for a couple of weeks, but no, it's good we get to have the time and jump on. It's pretty cool the idea you've got here and everything like that. So
yeah, no, I really appreciate you jumping on, man. And it's funny because we're doing this pre-recorded, so this episode, funnily enough, will be rolled around during finals time. So hopefully Brisbane make a deep run this year again as well. So.
Yeah, who knows? Yeah, at the moment we're coming off a couple of losses, so a nice little time capsule for a couple of months' time if we're going a good run.
Do you think it's good that you've dropped a few, so then you try and peak for finals?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I didn't get to watch yesterday. We lost to the Giants, but I didn't get to watch that. But a couple of our last couple of losses haven't been great. We started the season slow and sort of taken a while to get properly into the season. Now we've dropped a couple and, drew to North, lost to the D's at home.
Yeah.
Despite having some good wins this season, we beat Hawthorn at the G, beat Bulldogs and Gather Round. We've had some good wins, so it'll be interesting to see what the second half of the season. We've got a tougher run, so this will be a good little time capsule for September time.
Yeah, I like how you said time capsule because we'll rewind it back to growing up. For the listeners and viewers, which area kind of did you grow up in? I think you told me off air, you learnt a lot of the doing the dishes, the self improvement type stuff at a young age. So that's held you in good stead. So how does that tie in, Toby?
Yeah, I guess we bounced around a lot growing up. I think my parents split when I was 5. So it was just before I started primary school. And I think I was trying to think about it when you sent through the show notes. I think I've lived by the time I was 18, I'd lived in 9 houses, I think. So a lot of moving around, a lot of every couple of years, packing everything up and stuff like that. There was good stability through high school, so maybe it was sort of 6 or 7 by the start of high school. There was good stability in there, which was important. But yeah, I guess I grew up, like I said, bounced around, started off living out at Montana South, went to primary school out there for a couple of years, and then moved into sort of this part of town and into Bulleen, and then later on Heidelberg, that sort of area. So that was good. Yeah, went to change primary schools, I think about grade 2. I think started grade 2 and then, was lucky enough, go through all the way in a similar area at school and stuff. So there was challenges like that, but like I said, obviously you sort of have to learn a lot of those home skills, particularly, for 7 out of 14 days you're living with a single parent and my mum, and then you get to my dad's house, and I was fortunate to have my dad and my stepmom there, so it was a little bit easier, but to learn a lot of those skills. Somewhat being the man of the house for a little bit as well. 13, 14 years.
And with the life skills, because I want to touch on that, for me, it's tough to admit, but my parents did everything for me. That's just how they were raised and how they parented me. But do you think learning life skills at a young age holds you in good stead for when you're an adult, or compare it to me? How do you see it?
Oh, I think so. I mean that's not saying my parents did do a lot for me.
Yeah.
I guess that the motor skills around looking after a house and stuff like that, and your own stuff was stuff that was learnt when I was pretty young, and pretty lucky to be able to do that, I guess, in one aspect. But I guess it's hard to compare. Everyone's different, and
100%.
Even within your own family, with my sister being a couple of years older than me, our experiences growing up are completely different, despite there only being a sort of 4-year age gap. But look, it's good. It's probably not something that's given me a upper hand or anything, but nice to have been able to know them, particularly now, sort of living wise and living in an apartment and stuff, and knowing the motor skills of living.
100%, mate. That's awesome. And maybe touch on your relationship with your sister. Obviously, she's older than you, so you're the youngest. Obviously, I'm the oldest, so I find it like a heart attack. Like with you, it's a bit different. Did you have a close relationship growing up, or was it a bit more just the age gap? Or
we did a bit. We clashed on a few things. We probably got as close as we are now when she moved out of home at 18.
Yeah.
And we were living in Heidelberg, and she moved out to Laverton, which is like Altona, like far out west.
Yeah.
We probably got closer then when she was living so far away, because it sort of forced us to talk to each other. And I think around that time and, a couple of years going on, as I got older and closer to 18, you connect a lot more. You're sort of both young adults and that sort of thing. So we probably the age gap was always a little bit too much. When I was, in primary school, she was in high school. And then when I was in high school, she was in year 12 and that sort of thing. And then became an adult. So growing up was probably just that too big a buffer a little bit. But then in saying that, we got extremely close after when I finished school and she moved out.
Yeah.
And then she moved back in with us for a bit as well, and then back and forth, and we lived together she's just moved out, but for the last 2 years or so.
Yeah, so you've been really close in recent years.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. So, we talk, every couple of days now and stuff, and it's a good relationship. But definitely when we were younger, from what I remember, we'd clash a bit and we probably didn't have too much in common, but she's gotten into things like footy and stuff the last couple of years a lot more, so... Yeah. There's that connection, I guess.
Yeah, I guess with the age gap, I can relate because my younger brother's 7 years younger. So that, like me being in high school, him in primary school. The correlation.
It's tough. Yeah, it's definitely tough.
No, it is. And you said earlier how stability is really important. Like in your teenage years, I know you worked in fast food similar to me, and then transitioned to retail. I've got a similar path in that aspect. How did part-time work influence you growing up and the friendships you built back then and still to this day working full-time now?
Yeah, it made me a completely different person, to be honest. Like in a good way, it made me really come out of my shell. I was probably going back onto, not having stability and moving around and stuff growing up. I didn't have probably that community connection, probably not outside of like my career club that I'm still involved with, and we can go into later, but probably didn't have that community connection. I didn't have neighbours that I'd grown up with. I didn't have friends really from primary school that I was really close to because they're moving around and people in the local area and stuff. So getting to I think I started working as soon as I could at 15 or 14, 10 months, whatever it is. Started working as soon as I could. Part of it was probably wasn't too much that. It was probably more wanted to be able to start earning my own money a little bit and,
so then
and
you
that
can
sort
spend
of
it
thing.
on whatever you like.
I've always my goal when I was at school and with working through school was I just wanted to go overseas and travel. So there was that aspect of it as well to be able to get that started savings wise. But it made me a completely different person, and my parents have said that to me. When they picked me up after shift, they noticed that my confidence grew.
That's amazing.
But it's such a good, if I could go back and do it again, or if I was to relive my childhood, is the best thing I ever did was going to work in.
Best years.
Like you're there with, there might be a dozen people on shift or something, and you're there with 6, 7 or 8 of your best friends, or really you're all similar age and everything like that. So
similar interests as well.
To an extent, but everyone is a similar thing. A lot of the boys played footy and stuff, and a lot of us went to similar schools, similar area. I met one of my best mates who I'm still in really close contact with there, and one of my best mates from high school.
There you go.
He started working there as well, so there's that connection, and I met my girlfriend through working there as well. So
there you go.
It was the best thing I ever did. It was great though. The confidence you get as a 15, 16-year-old kid. Some kids probably don't need that much confidence in it, but just to be able to uplift yourself and
for sure.
be able to talk to other people outside of a school setting or whatever it might be.
No, it's important with those relationships, how like back then when you were 15, 16, and how some of these relationships have, in positive ways shaped who you are, and you still are in contact with some of those people, which is really important. And a good segue into our next topic, which is education. So obviously you work full time now, but how did your VC subjects shape what you do now and what you're studying as well?
They probably didn't at all, to be honest.
Really?
I did only 4 subjects in year 12 because through where I was working in fast food, you could do a certificate 3 or certificate 4 or something in retail.
Yeah.
So I probably didn't share. So I only had to do 4, which is English. Then I did politics, history, and geography.
Oh, right.
So I didn't really do anything at all. I mean, I love my history. I enjoyed history.
Yeah.
I think it's that and sport are my 2 favourite subjects to learn about. And then I did politics. I'm still somewhat interested in politics, but not as much as I was around that period. I guess that links up with history as well a little bit. And then geography, I did
it's not what it seems like.
Yeah. No, yeah, it's not at all. But in year 11, we went on some pretty cool excursions. That's what got me in at year 11.
What type of excursions?
We went to the paper mills up in Alphington.
Oh, wow.
Which was a funny experience because it was just a building site then.
Yeah.
We went out to King Lake for a day. That was a pretty fun day. And then the big one was we went to the zoo.
Yeah.
For the day. That was just a lot of fun.
Just
you could,
zoo.
You could just imagine, 4 or 5 of your best mates.
Marking
you go to
around
the zoo for the day. It was ridiculous. But no, it was a lot of fun. I did that with one of my mates at the time. And then a couple others joined halfway through year 11 with us. But my VCE subject really had nothing to do with what I wanted to. At the time, it was probably what I wanted to go into.
Yeah.
And then, I went into that at the start of the uni. I started studying international relations.
Yeah.
So politics, and then, did that for 6 months at La Trobe and just, I think...
Didn't enjoy it all.
Well, I guess part of it I probably didn't enjoy, and then you sort of get exposed to a lot of political sort of stuff at uni and different clubs and stuff, and you see behind closed doors what politics is like, and you don't
sometimes
really want to...
it's a pretty toxic environment.
Yeah. And I think I sort of realised pretty quickly it's not what I want to do for the rest of my life.
For sure,
so had a bit of a break, and then started at Vic Uni for a bit, doing a bit of sport management, and then changed that into a business degree, Swinburne Online, when work really kicked off and I had to start working full time.
Do you want to talk us through what you do for work and how that's influenced your life at the moment?
Yeah. So when I finished school and I left working in fast food, I went into doing a bit of event work. I know you've done event work as well.
It's really fun, isn't it?
It was good. I worked at Marvel Stadium as a customer attendant, so just on the aisles, on the gates, getting people in. That was a lot of fun. Got to watch a lot of footy.
Yeah.
And then from there went into working at the AFL store in retail, just casually, and then pretty quickly that turned into managing the store there, like within a couple of months of working there. And then that sort of upset my university a little bit, and had to stop studying full time and start studying part time. I mean, that was a decision I made, but went there, was there for a couple of years, did a bit of international travel, then came back home and got a job at the AFL for 6 months, and then into where I'm working now for the last year and a bit, in a sport management software company. So, which is good. It's opened up plenty of doors. But it's been a bit topsy-turvy, but it's a lot of fun. Definitely all just been working in sport though.
Yeah, it's good to find that balance. So obviously you have other passions like sports, which we might segue into now because it's a good segue. But obviously you love a variety of sports like we all do in the Sportsdesk. You've done some commentary for the AFLW as well. So maybe talk us through a few of your favourite sports and how that's impacted your life in such positive ways, Toby.
Yeah, I mean, I probably, like everyone, love my football, but it's probably not so much the sport itself, Aussie rules. It's probably more so my love for the Lions and my footy team. I think probably where it roots from rather than the love of Aussie rules itself. I don't know. It's probably for a variety of reasons, really. But then my true passion really is cricket. Love my cricket. Like if I could watch Zimbabwe versus Afghanistan in a test match compared to Geelong versus Essendon in the footy, I'd be watching that test match sort of every day of the week. So,
there you go.
love my cricket. That's I don't know what it is about Test cricket. I just adore it.
I just love it as well. What was your earliest Test cricket memory, if you had one?
Going to Boxing Day around 2007.
Ooh,
we played South Africa. That was probably my...
Was this when Warney and stuff retired, or like?
No, it was just after.
Oh, yeah.
Just after Warney had taken his 700th wicket and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, 2007, 2008, around that time, playing South Africa. And the only reason I really remember it is there was these two South Africans sitting in front of us. Yeah. Every time they hit a four, they had this massive, like 10-foot South African flag they put up, which is cool. But I just remember being so confused about, like, you know, it's so colourful and stuff, the South African flag. And but yeah, that was cool. And then, another memory I've got young was Simon Kadich and Watson running each other out, or Kadich run Watson out when they ran to the same end. I had a personal vendetta against Kadich for years after that.
Oh, jeez. Was Watto one of your favourites to watch?
Yeah, I loved Watto. I loved Shane Watson. I thought he was an unbelievable... Like, he could open the batting and bowl. I thought
he could do it all, really.
That was crazy. But yeah, and then outside of that, I've sort of got... I mean, I do like my soccer. I probably liked it a lot more in high school and coming out of high school. So
with the soccer, obviously Everton's your Premier League team, and you followed the A-League closely over the years. But obviously Ethan's a massive Toffees fan, and so is yourself. Like, you've been to the stadium tour, and you do all that. Or?
Did a stadium tour and went to a game whilst we were over there, which was really good. That sort of coincided with my birthday that year. When we were there, so that was a really special and cool day, particularly when we knew at the time, or I knew at the time, that the stadium only had 2 or 3 years left in it, and they knew the new stadium had been announced and stuff, so it sort of felt like now or never to get to a game. So we got to a game that was cool, and then I went to a couple others while I was there, away games at Wigan and at Sheffield as well. So I saw Everton there a couple of times, which was cool. But yeah, again, it's probably similar, not to the same extent. When I say I don't like Aussie rules, I love Aussie rules. I just love Brisbane as a concept more than the game.
Me with North.
But I would. Yeah, I love Everton more than I love the actual game of soccer, and that's not taking away from it. But there's other aspects of the game I enjoy. The fan culture and identity you get from it. I really enjoy, and you can sort of express that.
How you dress as a supporter as well.
A little bit, and how you support the teams and stuff. Yeah. It's a different culture to Aussie rules in cricket, 100%. Really. Like I said, love Everton and love Melbourne Victory as well.
Yeah, who are some of your favourite football players to come across Everton or even the A-League?
Cahill was definitely the pioneer growing up. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I loved Lukaku as well at Everton. Yeah. I thought Tim Howard was just like a bit of a cult.
When he scored that goal from the goalkeeper, that was incredible.
That was one of the first games I watched live. We were lucky to have Fox Sports and stuff growing up, so could watch the early game of the Premier League most weeks on a Saturday.
So you're used to getting up quite early to watch those games?
Yeah, a bit, yeah. Definitely through high school and when you get a bit more freedom and stuff, I was most weekends, if I didn't have something, if there was nothing on, and I could stay up on the Saturday night. Yeah. But I think my most favourite memories watching football and soccer would be Euros times, but more so the World Cup time, definitely 2014, 2018.
Oh, 2014, 18, yeah.
2010 I was all in. It was my first year of following soccer. Yeah, okay. But I just remember staying up all night with my sister for the first game against Germany, and we got pumped. 4-0 in I think it was 4-0 in 2010, but it was a great time watching the soccer. But 2018, I think every night for that month, I was up all night watching 3 games a weekend.
There you go.
And just playing Fortnite on my laptop between games, getting away sort of thing. So, I think the World Cup time's the best time in any sport, really.
It literally is, man.
I mean, there's nothing like an Ashes summer. There's nothing like, what we'll see this year.
It's like the Ashes then roll into the World Cup. Those types of years are just special, aren't they?
It's just the World Cup is just. I mean, it's a reason everyone watches it. But yeah, I think the Socceroos would be my my other true love in soccer. I think they're I mean, there's something about watching your national team and stuff, and and they just always sort of get lucky a little bit. At least in my lifetime, I know they haven't long before us, but they always just seem to find a way to get to a World Cup, whether it's Kennedy's header or a Jedinak hat-trick or a Bahic, goal out of nothing. Yeah. We always somehow find a way, or a Mitchju goal and assist in Saudi Arabia. We always find a way. Yeah. Well, the Olympics in 2020, I think, when we played the under-20s against Argentina. The things like that was just incredible. Yeah. So I know that it's not the Socceroos, they're the under-23s or whatever they are, but the things like that, watching the national team in any sport. 100%. And then my other favourite sport, I guess, would probably sit above soccer, to be honest, is rugby.
Tell us about that impact in your life.
I was interested at growing up. Mum's from New South Wales, so I was a little bit interested in it growing up, and then played it a bit at school. And I think it's just something about a lot of sports, body sizes are all very one-dimensional. Rugby, you've got 15 players who are 15 different body shapes and sizes, whether it's height or weight or whatever it might be. So I felt like I sort of belonged there. And then the position I played at school was just too much on my body to be able to play footy on a Sunday, rugby on a Saturday.
What position did you play?
I played hooker, which is when you're in a scrum, you're in the middle of the scrum in the front row. Yeah. So you're sort of copying most of the impact. And then I grew up and I grew a bit taller and then went into the second row, but still it's just a lot of stress on the body.
Very physical, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And then stopped playing that and chose to play club footy instead, and then school footy. But yeah, it was too much. It was too much on the body from what I remember, and fell out of it a little bit. I guess it's like everyone, when you're in high school, you've got better things to do than following sport, I guess, a little bit. So,
but now you're slowly getting back into it.
Yeah, I got back into it a couple of years ago with one of my mates. We sort of just for a bit of a laugh went to a Rebels game at Amy Park. This is a couple of years ago now, and
before the saga happened.
A couple of years before that, and it was just like, I mean, I went growing up. I went to a few games when they were first initiated, and I remember having a jersey and t-shirts and stuff. Like I was somewhat invested growing up, and particularly when I was playing at school. And then, we went a couple of years ago, and then just thought, like, this is pretty cool. Like, there's Wallaby players playing on our doorstep and stuff. And then we just I guess kept going pretty much. Bought memberships and stuff, and then I went to the World Cup in 2023 in Paris.
Oh damn! Yeah.
And that was amazing, and just sort of fell in love with it there.
Yeah.
Again, and. It's pretty cool. It's a bit harder now following it without a team in Melbourne a little bit, but it's sort of, I've been able to tie now in with my commentary work, and I do for Rugby Victoria, do their match of the day broadcast. So I've been able to tie that back in, which is really cool. Yeah,
we want to speak about your broadcasting journey as well. So, like, at what age did you start getting into broadcasting and commentary, and why do you love it so much, Toby?
Yeah, I did a subject at school in year 10, I think, and it was like a sports media sort of subject. It was more journalistic than it was presenting or anything like that. And I just loved that. It was only a one semester subject, and I thought it was unbelievable. It was sort of around the time of Sandpaper Gate and stuff like that when I was in school. So whatever year I would have been at school then.
2018 would have been,
it would have been, year 10. And it was just like, that was pretty much all we talked about every class, was just sandpaper and stuff. It was so cool being able to do something like that. And then we had our last subject was we had to do a little like news show, a sports news show. And a part of it, we had to present a news story, I don't know what the journal's biop or something on someone.
Yeah.
And then we had to interview someone, and the person we had to couldn't just be like, they had to be someone of significance.
Formidable.
Or at least, a sportsman or something. And a lot of people were able to tap in. Where the school I went to is pretty, most years someone gets drafted out of. So people were able to tap into that a little bit. And I just reached out to someone out of the blue on Instagram and managed to get that done. We had a 10-minute interview with him out the back of Amy Park before my shift at Macca's, and then but no, that was really cool. That was amazing. And then we were Andy Marr went to our school, years ago, and he was the one that graded basically this assignment, and we got like a 100% or 99% or something on it. And so I just
really well,
and I just thought, oh, that's pretty cool. Maybe there's something there for me. And then after school, I sort of got into a bit of writing and had my own podcast. Not that they were presented anyway, just had them for my own sake.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Around cricket and footy, and they were good learning tools. But that, like growing up playing footy in the backyard, I'd be commentating my own games. I'd at my grandparents' house have my footy card album of whoever's playing on the TV. Then I'd pretend to play the game with my footy cards and commentate that and stuff. Like my parents always said, there was no doubt that I was always going to end up in trying to do something like this.
Sure. Yeah.
But got lucky. A couple of years ago, someone was looking for a couple of VFLW commentators. I reached out. They were actually looking for female commentators. I said, "Oh, obviously I'm not a female, but if there's a spot open, I would love to have a crack at it." Did that for a year or two as just like special comments or boundary writing or whatever it was, and then they stopped doing that. The company that we did it for basically had no money, and then managed to pick up to the same company. They revived and brought in the AFLW side of it, and have done that for a couple of years now as well.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, no, it's really awesome to see the extra effort you've put into your full-time work as well as your commentary stuff. So really proud of you and keep up the good work, mate.
Thanks, mate. Yeah, it's good this year. Every Saturday at 3:00, I'm at a different rugby pitch around the city and commentating games, and they've been really good with. I guess they've given me pretty much all creative control. There's no,
for sure,
man. The competition itself does the broadcast. So there's things that I can't, take sides on things. I can't, favour one team or the other. Not that I would in my broadcast, but you have to be pretty straight down the line.
Yeah.
But there's nothing that there's pretty much full creative control for it, which is good. And I pretty much just sit at home now.
Yeah.
When I'm working from home, and I'll have the TV on. And I'll just find old rugby games from like the 80s or 90s and just chuck that on the TV and not really watch the game, but listen to the commentary, listen to the terminology, the language they're using.
And then trying to adapt it into your own, commentary.
Different words for different scenarios in the game, where rather than me just saying, oh, that was a fantastic sidestep, how can I better word that word that differently? Which is, it's good. I think the best thing was the ABC used to broadcast the Sydney grade or premiership grade from like the 70s through the 2000s. And so that a lot of their games from the 80s and 90s are on there, and the terminology they used were fantastic because all their commentators became the main callers for Wallabies games and stuff right up until the last couple of years. So just trying to learn those skills and that sort of thing has been really beneficial.
Yeah.
We'll be able to take that into AFLW as well. I feel like a lot of being able to think on my feet and that sort of thing for
it coincides with variety of sports, not just
definitely. I mean, I've spoken to the guys at Rugby Vic about it and how I can leverage skills that I've learned in other sports into rugby, and it's all basically just commentating. You just have to be able to understand the game.
Yeah.
Which I can. I don't think I'd be able to commentate soccer like Ethan does.
Yeah.
Just because I probably don't understand the game to that extent, but being able to commentate footy, cricket be a bit hard. You just got to talk all day, but you're not talking about the game. So, in a lot of scenarios, so that might be a bit of a struggle. But no, definitely, it's a great game. It's a little bit slower than footy as well, rugby. So you can sort of take breaks when you need to, and
that's really good to hear.
Take a bit of a while to get to your point.
Yeah. And just another segue to finish off the sports segment. Yeah. Obviously, you're a massive Brisbane Lions fan, and they won the premiership last year, and I remember what the speech you gave there. So maybe touch on how much it meant to you and your family, and how, growing up, they were pretty poor, rebuilding a lot, and then now you're up top of the table still. So.
Oh yeah, it was everything. It probably wasn't. I think I'd gotten a lot of it out of my system grand final week in 23.
Yeah.
Of the build up of my childhood and whatever it might be. I feel like, yeah, going to the football, you know, they come down 5 or 6 times a year, and most years I might see they win once or something like that.
Yeah.
So that was pretty hard growing up, but I think I got most of that out. At least I thought I did, got most of that out in 23 in the build up of that week. I think I'd come back from Europe on the Monday.
Grand final week.
Yeah. So I watched all from Vietnam actually, but through Europe. I'd come back that Monday, and that was a calculated decision when we were booking our trip the year before. So Brisbane had, I think, 2020 or 2019 we'd made finals,
and then from then on made finals.
Yeah. And when we were booking our trip in 2022 or back into 2022, it was a very calculated effort. I thought I've just got to be back grand final because you never know. And we'd been so close the last couple of years. I thought this might be our chance. So came back on the Monday, and I think every day of that week I did something that was around footy or Brisbane. You know, 1 or 2 of the nights we'd go into different events. One of them was a podcast I listened to, a Brisbane Lions podcast. Another one was a club event. You know, going to all the stuff that got on at Yarra Park at the G, and then the parade, and I just soaked it all up, did everything I could.
Yeah, for sure, bro.
I think one of the nights after one of the events, I got home and just didn't break down, but just I was quite emotional that night.
You took it in, as you said, and
I think every day I bought the newspaper and that sort of thing. It was keeping all the Brisbane stuff. I was just so excited for it. Went to a party shop and bought all Brisbane Lions decorations, decorated our house and stuff. It was just so like I said, I think I got everything out in 2023, and then when we lost, it was just so soul crushing.
I worked grand final day selling records, it was a tough day, man. Yeah.
I mean, it was special because it got to one of my really good friends is a Collingwood supporter, and he's in the army, so I might see him once or twice a year. But he came back for the grand final
in 23.
In 23, and we had a couple of beers together before the game, so it was nice. For him, it was nice for him to be able to have that day and stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
But I remember him just saying to me that we caught up a couple of days after the grand final, and he was just like, "There's no doubt in my mind you'll be back next year." And I was like, take that with a pinch of salt.
Yeah.
But then 24, it was a shocking start to the year. I just remember being so disappointed with footy after the year before, and I was so almost emotionless with it. I think. It gets halfway through the year and you've only won 2 or 3 games or something like that. It was just...
It wasn't great to see from 2023.
It was really disappointing. And then we just went on this ridiculous run. And I think the moment it sort of changed for me is we beat the Swans at the Gabba, and Archie kicked a really late goal to win us the game by 2 or 3 points, whatever it was. And that was a moment in me, if we can beat the Swans, we might be...
half a chance.
We might be able to go all the way here. And then we lost a late game in the season to the Giants at home. And then that sort of killed it for me again. I thought, the season's done. We're missing out on top 4. I think we lost that game. We missed out on finishing top 2. And then the week after or 2 weeks later, we lost to Collingwood at the G. And then that was what killed us from top 4.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I remember going to the finals, played Carlton the first week. And I thought, I was almost like Australian cricket fans, I was really obnoxiously confident going into that game.
Yeah, well, you led pretty...
I just knew we were going to win, and they kicked a point or a goal or something at half time.
Speaking of that semi-final, obviously that comeback, that was my 20th birthday, and everyone Liam and all that gathered here, we're Brisbane are done, and then once we got we went out to the SP and all that, came back, looked at the scores, we were shocked.
Oh, it was unbelievable.
There you go.
It was unbelievable. Yeah, we were after the Carlton final, like I said, I thought we were always going to win that, but I didn't think we'd win. We'd probably just lose the next week, was what I thought. And I just remember thinking the next day on the Sunday, my dad and I went to a Fitzroy Brisbane Lions luncheon with my granddad at Junction Oval, where Fitzroy used to play. And I remember being in this room with all these old Fitzroy supporters, and there was just this weird air of not confidence but excitement.
Yeah.
And I just remember thinking, whilst we were there, I was texting my sister and I said, "Should we go to Sydney next weekend for the Giants game?"
Yeah.
And she was like, "Nah, look at flights, blah blah blah. I think it'll be too expensive." And there just happened to be these two flights, one on the Thursday, one on the Sunday, that worked out to be a pretty good price, and I just booked it there and then.
Yeah.
And then she came up on the Friday, so I worked from this really dodgy hotel room on the Friday at this upstairs room of a pub. Didn't really get much work done because I couldn't think about it, but that was great. Yeah, we went up and watched the Lions at the showgrounds there, and again, third quarter, we're down by 10 goals or whatever it was, and there's a dad and son next to me, and the kid would have been 6 or 7, maybe. Yeah. And the kid was just like, could not stop crying. He wasn't sobbing, but he just couldn't stop crying.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't a scene. He wasn't making a scene or anything. He was just to himself crying.
Yeah.
And I just remember thinking, like, how tough does this kid have it? Like, and then I was thinking, he probably doesn't have it that tough. All he knows is Brisbane winning, so it's probably not that bad. But, like, to watch this would be pretty tough.
Yeah.
It just made me think of me when I was younger.
About empathy side, when you were younger,
And then we kicked a goal, and we kicked another goal, and we just kept kicking goals.
Yeah.
And it was at one point I had this kid up, and I was lifting this kid up like in the Lion King, and I had him on my shoulders. It was unbelievable. And then we ended up winning, and we had a 7 a.m. flight out the next morning, so we couldn't really go out and celebrate.
Yeah, exactly.
So no, we had a drink or two at the ground.
And then obviously you still got the prelim the next week as well.
Yeah, exactly. We didn't want to get too it. I think we knew we had to play Geelong the next week.
Yeah, I think it was already set that way.
Yeah. It must have been, because I remember going in to the ground, we were on the train, and my sister and I were talking, like, there's no way we're beating Geelong next week, but like, why are we here, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And then, anyway, we had to play Geelong the next week, and that was it. Yeah, I mean, that whole day is a story in itself, but that was a crazy win. I don't really remember much of it. I mean, I had a bit to drink, but I'd also was just lost in the
abuse. Not really.
Of the game. Like, I thought we were done. We were down by 2 goals a couple of minutes ago. I thought we were done, and then we just won again. I vividly remember those 2 goals because they were down the end of the ground I was sitting at.
Yeah.
The Archie goal and Cam Rainer's goal. Vividly, but the rest of the game was just a blur for me because I think in the time I was just trying to shut it out of my mind.
Yeah.
And after going through grand final day the year before, I think I tried to tell myself to not get my hopes up.
Yeah.
About those sort of things. But yeah, that was a great day. That was my the footy team I played for was our end of season, like our silly Saturday.
Oh, right.
And there's me and then 2 others that go for Brisbane, so we left that really early. They just went to a pub in Richmond.
Oh, that's awesome.
And had a good day. There was plenty of Lions supporters there, and again there was this weird feeling of just like hope or belief to get that done. And then I caught up with my old man after the game. Went and had a couple of beers with him, and then we got invited to those guys' house back who live in Richmond. And I think we watched the replay of that game literally 3 times. We left there at like 2 a.m. or something. That was crazy. But and then I think grand final night was when it really all came out for me, and got to celebrate that with my dad as well. I was old Fitzroy supporter and stuff.
Of course.
So that's probably why, I guess. Sorry to segue.
No, go for it, man. Yeah.
Like, I think growing up, we were sort of raised as Fitzroy supporters, not Brisbane Lions supporters to an extent. I think that's why I feel like I have such a deep connection to the club, and they hold such a high place for me because, there's this 100-year plus history of a completely different club that, I guess, in a sense, got shafted and sent up north, and probably didn't really deserve to. And the way this story's been written is that they did deserve to, but they probably didn't. For a number of factors, and just got, I guess, somewhat unlucky with it, and but to keep that tradition alive. And I remember being my family being, or my dad and my granddad being so upset when the Lions changed their jumper in 2013 to that paddle pop sort of line.
Oh yeah.
It felt like a part of the Fitzroy identity of the club had just been ripped out of.
Gone.
But and then it came back a couple of years later, which was good, and but it's probably why I feel all the books I have at home are all, So I've got a couple politics books, blah, 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 and a couple cricket books and a couple rugby books, but they're all just like Fitzroy history books, basically, all I've got at home.
Yeah.
So, which is really special. But yeah, like I said, I sort of grew up that way inclined. I mean, the footy jumpers I have at home, I think I only have one actual Brisbane Lions jumper. The rest I have that I own at home are just like remakes of Fitzroy jumpers and stuff that we've worn. So that's really special to me.
No, it's really special, and I can see how much the club means to you and your family. And obviously, I was just staring at the bookshelf when you were talking about books and how much Boomer, Magic Thor, and these North players mean to me. So yeah, it's special that way. And a bit more serious note now, Toby. Obviously, mental health is quite important for myself, for your family as well. You, how do you best manage your mental health? And obviously, working full time, you have less time for yourself sometimes. How do you balance that out?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's a bit of a challenge to balance, like I said, work and study and, you know, other commitments, and trying to prioritise. Probably in the past haven't prioritised it too highly, and it sent me not into dark places, but down a bit of a spiral. And I think I'm someone that can quite easily get in my own head about things.
Yeah.
And I think it's just the main thing for me is being social connection with friends. I've been really lucky through uni.
Through Sportsdesk as well, to some
extent. Yeah, definitely. But, you know, through uni and different clubs I've been involved with at uni, particularly my first year at uni, to meet, you know, 6 or 7 of my now that are my best mates.
Yes, sure.
So I've been lucky from that aspect. Definitely, I think Year 12 was really hard and really isolating. Going through COVID, it was the first year of COVID, so there was none of the structure or anything like that came from 2020. So going through that was really isolating, and it's probably, I mean, to an extent, sort of not upset, but is probably the reason why I'm probably not friends with as many people from high school, as we didn't have that Year 12 connection, I guess. It sort of got cut off abruptly. But yeah, I think I don't know, I just sort of try and prioritise it and do things that make me happy. Like commentary, I really enjoy. It's a nice escape for 2 hours. I don't have to think about anything else. I just you know, rock up to whatever rugby pitch we're at that day and just call what I say, basically. It's a nice escape. And it's always playing footy as well. I mean, the only issue with footy is, you know, the next day you're sore or you're tired or whatever it is.
Onset muscle soreness.
But yeah, I think it's just trying to find things that you enjoy, and, you know, for me it's been, like I said, commentating, you know, playing Xbox. Sometimes it's just, you just need to relax on a Sunday afternoon or something like that. You know, it's tough, and I think with work it's really hard, but it's just trying to find things you enjoy doing and actively actually going to do them. Yeah,
so like I think a key message you've relayed here is like when you're not working, you're doing fun activities that you really enjoy, so then you have that balance. Is that kind of where you're at?
Yeah, definitely on the weekends I try and just cram in things that I enjoy.
Yeah.
Whether that's sport I want to watch, you know, if there's something on a Saturday night at 1 a.m. or something, I'll try and manage my whatever I'm going to do that night around. Do I get to bed early that night? Do I stay up till 1 a.m. to watch it? Blah blah blah. Whatever, you know, whatever it might be. So it's a little bit harder during the week. I think the week I just try and get through the week, to be honest.
Yeah, gotcha.
I have a really set structure now, which probably goes back to growing up. A really set structure. I did the same things basically every night.
The fundamentals,
Yeah, definitely. Like, you know, Monday night, you know, I'll go to my girlfriend's house. Tuesday night, I'll do uni work. Wednesday night, footy training. Thursday night, my girlfriend will come to my house. Friday, do the sports desk. So like, you know, like during the week, I'm very structured on what I do, and
that's really,
you know, people say, oh, you know, you're stuck in the, you know, the rat race, or stuck in the grind of working,
sayings, but it works for you.
But it works for me. It gets me through the week. So not saying I hate working and stuff. It's just the mental toll of that. It's just easy to have for me, know exactly what I'm going to do.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Each week.
No, awesome. And I think I've done some similar stuff with you. Like each day is set. Like I know my uni days are Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and try and work around it for the other days. Yeah, for sure.
That's probably one thing I've actually enjoyed about working full time over the last couple of years has been, you just know what you're going to be doing every day. I think I found my first year or two of uni, I was only going to uni twice a week or something like that. Yeah. What am I going to do for the next 5 days of the week or 3 days of the week? It's just being able to have that structure of work. It's not for everyone, but I think it's for me, coming from a little bit, not unstructured, but, you're moving between mum and dad's house every couple of days. Being able to now just have that structure is really important.
I think that moving like a few days in a row, like at the moment with me, as you know, I can relate to that. Definitely. Obviously, growing up, that didn't happen. Definitely. But now, it's an interesting dynamic. But I think I'm going to switch segments instead of funny stories, and we'll wrap up with that and some shout outs. But a bit of music now, Toby. Obviously, I'm repping the Oasis shirt, and we both love a band. Tell us how much of an impact Oasis has had on your life. You've seen Liam live yourself as well with some mates, and they're coming to Australia at the end of this year. So tell us all about it, mate.
Yeah, I think again as part of identity growing up. I was never into music at all growing up. My sister's really into music. She studied audio engineering out of school. So my sister and my mum are really into music, and I think I just hated music because I hated having to listen to Taylor Swift and One Direction every time we got in the car growing up. Oh, damn. And then, I think when I was around 15, 16, I can't remember where I was, but I was at. I knew Wonderwall. But I heard "Don't Look Back in Anger" for what I think was the first time. Yeah. And I just like it. I thought, this is a pretty good song. And I think that chorus one's so Sally came. I don't know why. It just that was really cool. Yeah. And then sort of got it, finding out more about them just through Spotify and stuff, and just thought it was, and then the whole culture around Britpop, I guess, was something that really stood out to me. And
you did some research on that as well?
Yeah, a little bit, and then just sort of naturally went down that path, and then I feel like a lot of the songs sort of, I don't know, not saying they spoke to me, but I feel like I could connect with really well. And then got to we went to Liam Gallagher when we were in high school, and one of my best mates. That was amazing. It was just so cool being in I think it was at John Cain or Margaret Court, just being in this arena. Everyone else knew all the songs as well and stuff. It was pretty cool. Yeah. And then, from Oasis delving off into different bands and stuff, was cool, and finding similar music that other people had done.
For sure, man. And with Oasis coming to Australia, how excited are you to see them in October and November?
Yeah, can't wait. Yeah, a bit of a miscommunication between my group of mates and I, but I'm going 2 nights in Melbourne, which is really cool. Never thought, no one ever thought we'd see.
Yeah, I thought they were done and dusted, mate. Yeah, so far out.
To be able to do that's amazing. I think just the opportunity to be able to watch them live, and who knows what songs they're going to play, who knows how long it's going to go for, all these things. So that's really cool. Had the opportunity to go to Cardiff to see their opening show. We got tickets for that. Yeah. Is
that my goal?
I'm not going now, but my sister's, my girlfriend's sister and her boyfriend are going. With our tickets. So I guess it was would have loved to, just the financial strain of having to go to Europe, I guess. Having only gone 2 years ago or a year and a half ago. So I can't wait. It's going to be amazing. I think I think that weekend is just going to be so much fun. There's going to be so many people out in the city and at pubs and stuff. It's just going to be an unreal weekend, I think. But I love Oasis. I probably just I don't know what I'll do that weekend. It'll be amazing.
Yeah, definitely. I'm a collector, as you can probably tell. I'll probably grab a few hoodies or just whatever I can salvage, definitely. Really. Yeah. And what's your all-time favorite Oasis song if you had to pick one?
I think She's Electric to be honest.
Lovely. From What's the Story in Morning Glory.
I think What's the Story in Morning Glory was the first album I got, actual CD.
Yeah, and you lended it to me, which I was very happy about. I remember. Yeah.
It was I just came across it one day. I mean, I'd been listening to Oasis for years, but that was the first sort of CD I got. And just listened to that so much growing up, like studying at high, particularly in Year 12, studying. I just be listening to that, and I got a Liam Gallagher CD as well.
There you go.
So I'd listen to those two. Oh, and Stone Roses, I got those 3 CDs basically at the same time.
Yeah.
Just listen to those three on repeat pretty much. Just chopping and changing between them.
That's awesome, mate.
I think, She's Electric is probably my favourite Oasis song. I don't think it's probably not my favourite song all time, but it's my favourite Oasis
It's
song.
up there, yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. Mine's probably Wonderwall because like I got my capo on second fret right there. Like it's the only song I can strum and play with. So, and they played at team release parties all the time. So it's that special connection to culture.
Definitely,
that I love.
Yeah.
Oh, it's awesome, man. And to wrap things up, we've got 2 more segments. So we've got funny stories and shout outs. Our time knowing each other. Do you have any funny stories in our friendship or with for Sportsdesk you want to like share to the listeners and viewers?
I think from the Sportsdesk, I think straight off the top of my head was that episode last year that Tanish rocked up in like a leather jacket and a flat cap or something like that. Like rocked up really formal.
Yeah.
And I think you, me and Liam just spent the whole episode just like razzing him basically about wearing a flat cap and dressing up for the Sportsdesk. Most of us just rock up in
hoodies and shit.
Yeah. So I think that was pretty funny. Other funny stories, probably not funny. It was funny for me. It wouldn't have been funny for Jason, but when he went on that big speech about Essendon, that was it was just, I don't know. I feel kind of bad for him having to go through all that.
With our finals hoodoo as well.
Yeah, having to support Essendon. But it's just, I in the moment, I just remember sitting there. It was just like, it was just a little bit funny. I'm sorry. It was a little bit funny. But,
shout out Jason.
Yeah, shout out to Jason. But that was good. Trying to think others. There's heaps on there that
I don't know. Just Tanish. Like there's always.
It's always something with Tanish.
Just a Mitchell Johnson call as well. I'm not sure.
I remember that.
When I heard about it, I just burst out laughing. A better batsman than a bowler. That was just astounding. Yeah.
He said something about Bob Rose. As
a painter or something.
He's like a Collingwood legend. Like there's this grandstand. I think because I was talking about where I was commentating the AFLW at Big Park, you're in like this little corner in their old social club stand.
Yeah.
And like you're basically just on this balcony. Anyway, it's like it's fine, but it's just a bit of a weird. Yeah. Like you're in the pocket and stuff. Like it's a weird position. And I was talking about the stand next door where we normally commentate from, which is the Bob Rose stand.
Yeah.
Jason started talking about Bob Ross a little bit earlier. And he was like, like the painter or something like that. It was just hilarious. Like, I think we spent a couple of minutes, just no one could get words out. It was just in the moment, it was just the funniest. Especially Tanisha's a Collingwood supporter. I get, he's probably hasn't really grown up with footy and that sort of stuff.
More so cricket,
So, and I think... But it was just a funny circumstance of
just
that.
2 different people getting mixed
up.
Yeah.
And especially you didn't know who Bob... I was about to say Bob Ross was. Yeah. Like a famous painter and like a bit of a meme sort of thing with his videos. Like it was just hilarious.
That's pretty funny, mate. Yeah, and to wrap things up, Toby, obviously it's been a pleasure chatting to you about growing up, education, so on and so forth. But do you have any shout outs you want to mention, people you want to jump on Just Journos down the road?
I think Liam would be really good to talk about cricket and his journey. I think that'd be I don't know who your other guests that you've had.
Yeah, so far just Chrissy and Tanish, so 2 close mates. Yeah.
But I think Liam would be good. I think Justin would be good to talk about basketball and what he sort of does
for sure.
With his newspaper work and stuff. I think print media is really important. It's not
still in this day and
age.
I
think it's really important. That and audio broadcasting are my 2 favourite avenue of media. So I think it's really important that people are still involved with it. And like I said, I think radio broadcast is my favourite type of broadcast. If I could just do
just like you.
Radio for my whole life, it'd be pretty cool. So
yeah,
I think just being able to jump in the car, chuck on the footy or something. Yeah, but like, you know, on the radio, you just chuck the footy on, someone's commentating the footy.
That's very true.
You know, you don't just have to be watching it, you can be listening to it as well. And
yeah, I
think that's what's gotten me into media, listening to different sport, and not just listening to, but trying to watch it through the radio and
trying
understand,
to interpret what they're talking about.
You know, when they're explaining a cover drive, someone's just trying to visualize that cover drive, or someone's taking a set shot on goal, trying to visualize that.
Yeah, for sure.
I think it's really important. So that's what I try and bring through in my broadcast as well, despite, particularly at the moment with rugby, that's all live streamed, but trying to commentate it to an extent as if it was a radio broadcast. I think, audio and print media, extremely important.
And they work hand in hand together, like you said. And for me, like, podcasting is probably my 101. Like, I've done Jez and Friends in high school, as you've seen, and now just Journos. It's funny how things evolve. Like, in August, we're celebrating 5 years of Jez and Friends, and then this is just another pillar of what I do. So I find it really enjoyable how we can sit and talk, and then it's pre-recorded and you can upload it at another time. There's no pressure to drop it like next week. You can drop it whenever you want, really. For sure. Yeah, so that's awesome. And thanks so much for the chat, Toby. I've learnt a lot about yourself, and I'm sure we'll be mates for many more years to come. Mate. Hopefully another Lions v North FLW Grand Final.
That'd be good. It'd be interesting to see what happens this year. There hasn't probably been as much movement as there has been in other years of AFLW, which is good for the comp. Teams can try and build a bit better and have that momentum of previous years. So I think North will be good again. Hopefully the Lions will do all right as well. But it's an exciting time with AFLW to see where it goes over the next couple of years. Yeah,
very exciting, and all the best for your future endeavours as well, Toby.
Thanks, Jez. Sorry, I was about to call you Just Journos. Thanks, Jez. I really appreciate it. I'm completely honoured to have been invited on, such an early guest as well. And hopefully later down the track you'll have me back on as a little update or something. But can't wait to see what Just Journos becomes.
Thanks so much, Toby. Appreciate it. Thanks, mate. Cheers.